Now, there was a time when I didn't wear any mountain bike armor at all. Didn't believe in it, didn't think it was necessary. But a separated shoulder, a broken hip, dislocated finger, broken and bruised ribs, and countless stitches later, yeah, I now wear armor. Lots of it. Hi, I'm Paul Andrews, and this is PNWmtb coming to you live from Seattle. We're here to talk about armor, and in this case, armored liner shorts. Now, even after I started wearing knee and elbow pads, I never thought much about liner shorts. They seemed like overkill. Then I crashed badly on a downhill run and suffered a hip fracture. Okay, message received. Since then, I wear armored liner shorts as well. I should note is my policy. I paid for the shorts out of my own pocket, so nothing in this video is sponsored. I've worn 3 different brands, Troy Lee, G-Form, and Zoic. I can't say I've gone out and deliberately crash tested these guys. I mean, who wants to hurt yourself on purpose? But I have crashed accidentally on all of them. Bottom line is they all work. Each time I crashed, I was glad I had them on, but they all have their own strengths and weaknesses as well, which we'll talk about. Now, using clusters of pads and various cushioning patterns, these shorts distribute the force of a thigh or hip impact enough to really lessen the bruise factor. Yeah, you're still going to ache, you're going to feel it, but trust me, you come out a lot better than if you weren't wearing them. First, let's look at the Troy Lee Shock Doctors. These have broad horizontal thigh pads, contoured hip pads, and a generous tailbone pad. They're quite durable. I've used mine for several years with no noticeable failures. They have a comfortable 2-inch wide elastic waistband and come with thigh grippers as well. The coverage is excellent on these guys. One unique feature is their inner thigh padding. When you crash, you can't really control where those bars and frame are going to get you. And I've gotten pretty badly poked on the inside of the thigh, so I'm happy to see this feature. The TLDs come with a chamois. It ain't the greatest. I'd call it more like a reinforced seat area. I'd rather have a full chamois, and some of the pads on this short are inserts into pocket enclosures, which have a tendency to kind of pop out in the washing machine. You know, you can put them back in, but it's kind of a pain. Second in my arsenal is the Zoic Impact Liner. In contrast to the TLDs, the Zoics have a smaller individual pads, which are hexagonally shaped and then placed in an oval pattern on the thighs, in a teardrop pattern on the hip, and in a circular pattern on the tailbone. I've taken a couple of pretty good hits in these guys, and they've really done a good job of spreading out the impact. One injury might have been a hematoma without them on. The one caveat in these shorts is they're a little on the short side. I'd like to see longer thigh coverage. The elastic waistband is not as wide as the TLDs, but plenty sufficient, and the same with the thigh bands. They don't have grippers though. One nice touch with the Zoic is the full chamois. This makes the liner quite comfortable, which is a big plus when you've got long climbs to get to those screaming descents. Last, we've got the G-Form Elite Bike Liner. As you might expect, they come with G-Form's patented Smart Flex padding. Unlike the TLD and Zoic shorts, where the padding is covered by fabric, G-Form's padding is externally stitched onto the short. G-Form's tailbone and hip coverage is the most extensive of these 3, but curiously, its thigh coverage is comparatively minimal. I can't say the design has shortchanged the shorts, so to speak, effectiveness when I've crashed, but I'd rather see broader thigh coverage. You can get these shorts with or without chamois. The non-chamois is called a Pro X, although the chamois is $20 more expensive. Without a chamois, though, you probably want to wear a standard liner short under them, which I've done, but it feels kind of diaperish. Now, if you're familiar with the G-Form stuff, you know it tends to feel a little bit bulky and heavy, and it gets hotter in the summer months than the other armor, so I wouldn't rate G-Form the highest on comfort. That said, I trust G-Form's padding the most of any. It's burly, durable, and does the best job of absorbing impact. These guys really put the pro in protection. So here's how they shape up competitively. For overall comfort, I like the Zoics. For best protection, I like the G-Forms. The Troy Lees kind of split the difference. Pricing, interestingly, falls along the same lines, with the Zoics the cheapest and the G-Form the priciest. But when it comes to protecting yourself from injury, we all know that cost is not necessarily the first consideration. So you won't go wrong with any of these guys. The main thing is if you crash, they've got you covered. When I talk to riders before they've crashed, they often complain about the drawbacks of armor: bulky, hot, inconvenient. We all know we don't like to wear this stuff. But when I talk to them after crashing, they always say, hey, they wish they'd been wearing armor. Hope this helps, and you can bet I'll be wearing one of these puppies the next time I see you out on the trail.